Hi everyone, welcome back. This video is a little bit late. This of course is Governess of Time Chaos. This is Ultimecia's event, which is still going for a little bit here. I wanted to make a video beating this without Ultimecia, because I didn't pull for her. And I was able to clear it and get most of the missions using assorted teams and different strategies, and I thought about posting videos of some of that, but it just didn't seem right to post a video without getting a perfect run. So I didn't. They were a little bit shoddy runs. So this team should be able to do it, I think. It's going to be Squall, who of course has a maxed out weapon. Warrior of Light, he has a single ingot on his weapon. And Sherlotta. My friend's going to also be Sherlotta, and I'll be using Ifrit. This really is just going to help a little bit with Squall Brave Shaving. And from trying this with Shiva, although the speed up is better in my opinion, it also doesn't quite give him enough damage to always Brave Shave during the boss fight, so that's why I'm using Ifrit. So first thing you do, of course, you're going to get your buffs up. Okay. Next wave, you're going to want to target the one that you can delay by breaking. There's probably only one of those. Now this wave can be a little annoying. Basically, if you're lucky, one of them will be targeting Warrior of Light right from the get-go. In my case, I did not get lucky here, so it's really a 50-50 shot. One of these guys is probably going to use Evil Eye, and the other will not. I'm really just sort of hoping that B is going to be the one that does it. It's really, it literally comes down to just getting lucky and having the one that petrifies aim at Warrior of Light, and then having that, like, 70% elude dodge it. And then hopefully the other one will brave attack. Okay, so that works. That's all I wanted to see. It's exactly what I needed to have happen. So this particular wave will go fairly smoothly now. So I want to be careful here. I don't want to run out of abilities. I am going to need quite a few to get through the boss wave, so I need to conserve a little bit, especially on Squall. Everyone else is more or less okay. So I like getting Crystal Core Wave and Light of the Crystal staggered. What I mean is, I've mentioned this in a different video before, but basically I like when their durations don't line up perfectly, because I don't like to have to use them both on the same turn, because I feel like I'm always leaking a lot of Brave when I do that, whereas when I can get them sort of staggered out a little bit, the benefit is that you get more turns of generating Brave, but it doesn't actually add to your turn count at all. Okay. Of course, A is the one I can delay, so I'll aim for him. And that cleared the entire wave in one hit because of Sherlotta's buff. Okay, so strategy here is a little tricky and a little bit luck dependent. So I'm really hoping that RNG will be on my side, basically. What I'm hoping to have happen here is whenever they use their, well, you'll see. Whenever they power up, I'm hoping that Sherlotta will be able to remove most of the Brave with her EX, and then Squall will be able to break at least one of them with Solid Barrel. I don't know if that will happen that way, but that's what I'm hoping for. Now you kind of want to whittle them down evenly. You're not necessarily penalized for killing them individually. The survivor doesn't power up wildly because he killed one like it does in like Deuce's last chapter. The problem is that whenever one of them gets one of their stat buffs, like I knock one of them down below 80% and it powers up, they both get it. So if I focus all the damage on one, 100 to 0, when I start on the next one that's still at full health, it's going to be like it's got the buffs, the stat buffs from when it falls under half already. So, for obvious reasons, not what you want to do. So you do kind of want to whittle them evenly. It just makes the fight go a little bit smoother. Alright, so the main things I'm doing here. Number one, I want to make sure Sherlotta's EX comes up in a timely fashion. Number two, I'm going to be trying to apply sap to both of them. I'd also like to lock both of them if I can. And then this is early in the fight, so their stats are not high, so Squall's like HP plus and Brave plus are fairly effective tools at this point. Now, I don't want to use his EX just yet, because it does, I do have an ingot on him, it does hit respectably hard as far as Brave damage goes, so I want to hold on to that just in case I need him to help Brave shave. Okay, so you can see her EX is ready. I don't want to use it yet. I know it seems a little strange to hold onto her EX, but I'm actually going to do that because one of them should be about ready to use its ability very shortly here. Okay, so I need to use a solid barrel because his buff is about to fall off. Alright, so there's Reaper Rise. That's the 80% threshold. This is nice. I like when their turns are fairly close to each other. It just seems to work out a little bit better because I'll be able to remove their Brave more easily. Now, this is a problem. What just happened here is a massive problem. Normally, A is not going to be broken by Squall in time because his turn came up awkwardly. Normally what I want is Sherlotta's EX to remove most of the Brave and then Squall to remove the rest of it with a solid barrel. Now, I may be able to cheat this a little. You can see if I check the turn order, Renzo is going to move him up ahead of it. So, what I'm going to use is a Renzo, and that's going to put his turn right in front of A, which now allows me to do that. Now, this is ideal here because now Sherlotta is going to remove Brave from both of them. Okay, is this thing still recording? Yes. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so, Sherlotta Brave shaved. Now, the goal here is to break them both, if possible. Alright, so there's one, and normally I would use a solid barrel to break here, but since I can safely use his EX to do it, I'm going to. Okay, now, I don't want to use the Renzos because I can use them, as I just showed you, to cheat my turn ahead. I don't want to use up all my solid barrels, because those are normally what I need to use to Brave Shave there, so I'm just still going to hold on to some abilities. Turn count is a little tight at 70, and if I want to hit score, it's probably more like 65. So, Warrior of Light got stoned. All jokes aside, it's super annoying. The only way I could have avoided that would have been to use a Buckler Throw more recently than I did, and that's not what happened. The good news is he's probably going to get broken, so that may actually undo that. Okay. So his buffs are still fine. Alright, so he's actually almost certainly... No, we'll see. He might not break. If you get broken, you recover more quickly, but in this case it wore off already, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's good to stagger these out. So A does not have sap applied to it, so I'm going to go ahead and hit A. And I would like to break them both here, so I am going to use a solid barrel. And the reason is actually pretty simple. I want to start relocking them here. So this is why sap is nice, is even if they recover from Brave and both try to attack on that turn, they don't really get much out of it, as you can see. Alright, so you can see her EX is ready again. I'm still going to hold on to it. That is my get out of jail free card. I do not want to throw it away. Okay, so Assault Trigger. This is possibly going to knock it under half, and that will trigger the next wave of obnoxiousness. Doesn't look like it did, which means I still have an opportunity to target lock the left one. Okay. Alright, starting to get them a little lower. I'd like to pop this as a bit of a setup. I probably should hold on to Shining Wave, but I'm far enough into the fight that I feel like if I have to, I can swap in the other Sherlotta for Warrior of Light. Since I'm in that position, let's go ahead and use a Shining Shield just so my teammates have it in case I swap him out. Alright, so here's the next round of Aqua Powers. This is perfect. So they both did it at the same time, and I have their turns together, and Sherlotta goes first. It does not get better than this. This is perfect. Okay. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fire off a Crystal Generation here. Alright, now Squall will hopefully be able to break one of them with Solid Barrel. Now if Warrior of Light still has EX, he might be able to break this. I'm actually a little concerned he's going to die here. So, just for the sake of making this a little safer, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some help. Now, I do not need to use Crystal Wave Core on her. I already have the buff in place from my other Sherlotta, so I can safely just go right into Summon and use Crystal Generation 4 times on her. Okay. So I'm going to use Squall's EX here. It's going to splash off it for the first few hits, but it's still going to be pretty respectable on the bottom half there. So, not always optimal to have to do something like this during the summon. It ate up a lot of turns. Should be okay. As long as I can deal enough damage to make up for the lost turn count, I'll be fine. Now here's the danger. I need to make sure they both stay broken. Otherwise I'll be in a lot of trouble here. Because they will still try to use Demon Splash. And that is really my concern. Now it's targeting my my friend Sherlotta? My concern is really the HP count. She doesn't have 12,000 hit points, so I'm hoping that even if it does manage to kill her, that it's okay. So I'm looking at it, and I am correct. It was not 12,000 damage. It stops at her HP cap, which is absolutely perfect. It doesn't get any better than that. So now the goal is just to sort of burn them down as quickly as possible before the next one of them comes, because I will not survive it again. So from this point, I kind of want to use some kind of Brave Generation tool every single turn if possible. I'm in a little danger here because Warrior of Light is petrified, but I think I'll be okay. So I'll use my last Renzo. CC Squall still is protected by Shining Shield. Use an Assault trigger to get rid of that Brave. Okay, so the left one is very scary for a second here. Fortunately, I can still use... I know I've said before this isn't what I like to do, but I'm going to go ahead and use multiple abilities on one turn here, just because this is going to help generate some more Brave for everybody. Throw my last one of these. This is straight HP damage, so it's going to hopefully take out the left one. Poor Warrior of Light is still petrified. Good news is he has a ton of Brave, so I'm not too worried about him getting broken here. And hopefully Squall, with one more solid barrel, will end this. Now the only question is, did I hit the score? Because I know I hit the hit point count and everything, but I did take a lot of damage when the guest Sherlotta took that hit. I did, I got it. So that is the complete. There was a way to save that Sherlotta if I had played it a little differently. Like I said, you can keep Warrior of Light's EX available, and I spent mine for damage. Had I kept it, Squall's Solid Barrel would have broken A, and Shining Wave would have broken B. That's not what I did. It still worked out. So thanks for watching. Hopefully if anybody is still straggling, I know Squall is a character a lot of people have available, and there are some people who just did not get Ultimecia. So hopefully this is a team some people can use to beat this, and thanks for watching.